if you've got a Quest 3 and you're using it for this more than this, then that's why you're probably watching this and thinking about this. And you're probably wondering what the difference is, and more importantly, is it worth it? And in this video we'll be answering the most commonly asked questions. Is the visual upgrade actually noticeable over the Quest 3? What about the field of view? Will my PC be able to run that massive resolution? Is it more comfortable for long sessions? Do I lose my inside-out tracking or need base stations? Does this 8K Micro-OLED headset that weighs as much as an apple deliver the visual punch that you've been dreaming of? Let's find out right after this. In this section I'm driving St. Petersburg in Florida in the Ferrari 296 GT3. First up in the MetaQuest 3. And to give the Quest 3 some real credit, I'm also using here the virtual desktop beta update and using the SteamVR LC6L link cable, which allows pass-through charging, and it also has a USB-C or USB 3 converter on the end. Now this is really handy as a number of users, including myself, experienced bandwidth issues using the USB 3 connectivity, and I also experienced some disconnection issues with the virtual desktop beta in this new update. But with USB-C, that problem doesn't exist. You can also get a discount on this cable by using the link in the video description. So first of all, for a mid-tier standalone headset, the Quest 3 does a pretty good job here. I get a solid 90 FPS, and I'm using max quality settings. For transparency, my PC specifications are on screen. But even by using a link cable, the Quest 3 is a standalone headset. Running it on a PC requires compressing the video feed over a USB cable or Wi-Fi. Fine details like distant road signs, dashboard text and iRacing get smudged by encoding artifacts. The experience isn't a bad one, but visually the latency makes for a much more detached feel, whether using Wi-Fi 6E or the USB connection. And if you are wanting a desktop quality experience, even here using max quality graphical settings, there is a real washed out look to the title. We are running 90 FPS at 90Hz here on the Quest 3, and we do experience micro stutters at times when either using Wi-Fi or the USB connection. The Quest 3 uses LCD panels at 2064 by 2208 per eye, and the on-screen capture using virtual desktop is actually pretty well representative of how this looks to me in the Quest 3. But we have to remember that even with the new virtual desktop USB link, this is still compressed. Now let's take a look at the same track, same car and same settings on the Pimax Dream Air. The first thing that strikes you about the Dream Air is the sharpness. Everything that was previously artifacting in the distance is now pin sharp and crystal clear, and boy do those colours pop. The Dream Air uses a native lossless DisplayPort 1.4A connection, making the image mathematically and perfectly crisp. The 4K per eye Sony Micro-OLED panels are pushing 3840 by 3552, and they are also the same panels used in the far more expensive Apple Vision Pro. And these are incredible. If you've moved from LCD over to OLED on your desktop, you'll know the huge difference that this makes. But to have popping colours and deep blacks right in your eyes, the result is nothing short of breathtaking. There is no mirror, no chromatic aberration, or screen door effect that you would be used to with the Quest 3. The pancake lenses in the Quest 3 are upgraded to Pimax's proprietary concave Micro-OLED stack. There can however be, like with many Micro-OLED panels, some glare, and a number of users also report this, but this can be minimised by turning the brightness down slightly. You also see a brown tinge on the peripheral edge of the lenses. Again, this is common and normal, and is also present in most Micro-OLED panels. But this is soon forgotten about, and as you will see from a through the lens footage on the right hand side of the screen, it looks absolutely incredible. This time we are heading to Suzuka in the Porsche 911 GT3, and again we are in the Quest 3. Now the experience is testament to how well iRacing is optimised in virtual reality, but the question we are asking here is, is the visual upgrade actually noticeable in the Quest 3? And moving over to Suzuka, I'll try to summarise it visually rather than how the game actually plays. You are struggling to see the fine details in the distance, and the apexes are much more difficult to gauge accurately. Even the braking markers are quite difficult to make out, only coming into focus clearly often when it's too late. And there is also lots of artifacts and aliasing as the compressed feed really struggles to compete. We have to remember that we are always aiming to achieve a PC VR experience with a Quest 3, Pico 4 or the equivalent standalone headset, and the burning question would be, would this be good enough to take me away from an ultra-wide or multi-monitor experience? And honestly, the answer would have to be unfortunately not. Same car, same track, and the same attributes as before. But aside from the ultra-low latency and much smoother and more enjoyable experience, this is on an entirely different level altogether. So the same question again, would this be good enough to take me away from an ultra-wide or multi-monitor experience? And the answer is not only a resounding yes, but it's also a proven one. I haven't raced in iRacing for nearly 2 years on the Samsung Odyssey 49-inch ultra-wide, and before the Dream Air came along, the Pimax Super was a true PC VR headset that moved my iRacing experience to fully VR. And this has been covered in a number of previous videos. Again, on the right hand side of the screen you can also see the through the lens footage, and this is true desktop quality, and that I can guarantee. In this section, first of all, let's measure the field of view using Test HMD, first up on the Meta Quest 3. The stated field of view for the Quest 3 is 110 degrees horizontal and 96 degrees vertically, and using this combination in Test HMD with my IPD, which is 67, I got a shocking 68 degrees vertically and 92 degrees horizontal using the Quest 3 silicon interface. Out of interest, let me know in the comments if your findings on the Quest 3 FOV, if you've tested yourself, as this actually really surprised me and it's far less than I imagined, and I even retested 3 times to be sure that this was accurate. Next up, the Dream Air using Test HMD. The stock interface gave me 86 degrees vertical and 98 degrees horizontal FOV, versus the stated FOV of 110 degrees horizontal and 89 degrees vertical. I do attribute the difference to the Quest 3 in the distance to the lenses. Remember, the Quest 3 is designed to accommodate users who wear glasses. However, the Studio Form X1P gets us pretty much to Pimax's stated figures of 90 degrees vertical and 108 degrees horizontal. Pimax's stated FOV numbers are 110 degrees horizontal and 90 degrees vertically. And in sim racing, it's the vertical that counts. And on this is a great example of the incredible colours in the Dream Air. This is a Test HMD colour test, and look at how it is through the Dream Air actual through the lens footage on the right hand side of the screen. Will my PC be able to run that massive resolution? The Dream Air includes Tobii eye tracking as a standard feature, unlike the Quest 3, which lacks eye tracking entirely. Now this enables dynamic foveated rendering, or DFR, which tracks exactly where you are looking at and renders that specific spot at full resolution, while lowering the workload in your peripheral vision. Now even with the most demanding conditions in iRacing, pairing DFR gives you the equivalent of another tier of GPU upgrade, and allows you to raise the graphical settings without dropping frames. But the Dream Air scales very well against other Pimax headsets, and I've demonstrated this in other videos such as the Dream Air frame rate test video where I tested the Dream Air versus the Pimax Super 50p PD. But for other sim racing titles, there are a number of other methods that can get you even more performance, such as our Discord admin El Hydro's PrimaShock settings. We've had users with 4080s running 90 FPS in titles like Automobilista 2. But I would recommend a 5080 or a 90 series for the best possible experience if you want a great experience in a wide variety of sim racing and other titles. Now our Discord is completely free, so check out the link in the video description where you can also check out settings and PDF guides for all the top PC VR sim racing titles too. Is it more comfortable for long sessions? So if you have a Quest 3 or pretty much any other VR headset, then it's likely that one of the first mods that you would have done is for comfort. And for me, I purchased the Quest Silicon Facial Interface one day after getting the Quest 3. Now unfortunately, the Pimax Dream Air stock facial interface has been uncomfortable for a large number of users. But just like the Quest 3, the Pimax Dream Air has a number of options available. There is a 3D printed facial interface by Z5 Boys, and this is a popular modification by many users. Or the Studio Form Apache V3, which I have here. Now this comes with a variety of silk fabric facial cushions of variable thickness and also PU leather effects. Now let's not forget the ultimate comfort upgrade, the Apple Vision Pro dual strap. Now this is an absolute game changer and easy to fit comfort upgrade. Now Pimax were also shipping a new revised facial interface that was showcased at the Sim Racing Expo, and all new and existing users will receive this interface for free. But the biggest difference that you'll experience with a Dream Air is that this is as light as a feather. At roughly 170 grams, the Dream Air is comfortable with mods to wear for a long time in sim racing. There's no battery anxiety, and compared to the Quest 3's 515 grams, you'll definitely feel a huge difference. Now for those who wear glasses, another common question is, can I wear glasses with the Dream Air? So like the Quest 3's prescription inserts, they are also available for the Dream Air. But due to a close distance to the lenses, you can't wear glasses. These excellent magnetic lenses provided by Hans VR, an approved Pimax partner, are superb. There is also a link in the video description to them, and they also come provided with the carry case shown here. So many Quest 3 users love the convenience of not having external lighthouses mounted on their walls and worry that moving to a high-end PC VR headset means going backwards in convenience. And there is no difference with the Pimax Dream Air here, but one of the biggest differences that you'll see with the Dream Air is the pass-through. Moving from a Quest 3, the first thing that many users find as a culture shock is there is no pass-through on the Lighthouse version, and the Slam version does have a very basic black and white pass-through, which is acceptable for just taking a quick look around at your surroundings. But generally, high-end PC VR direct DisplayPort headsets do not use mixed reality or pass-through. Now while it fully supports SteamVR Lighthouse tracking for those who want it, the Dream Air also offers a Slam inside-out tracking option. You can keep the plug-in and play convenience of the inside-out tracking whilst upgrading your visual fidelity. And talking of plug-in and play, there's no more battery anxiety with the Dream Air. It works via a mains adapter, and you can play for as long as you want without swappable batteries or charging in between sessions. But no, unfortunately, you can't play Gorilla Tag. If you want to get your hands on the Pimax Dream Air, the Apex Choice headset for sim racing, you can get yours today with fast delivery thanks to Pimax now using local shipping, and by using my discount code NLSimGaming, and by using the link in the video description, or by scanning the QR code on screen right here. And don't forget, as an approved Pimax sim racing ambassador, I've got your back completely. Not only do you get help from our free community Discord channel, but if you do experience any issues with your purchase, I'll get everything resolved directly with my Pimax representative to keep your purchase hassle free. And remember, you can also get a free 12 months iRacing subscription instead of a discount by using the code NLSimGaming12. The Quest 3 is a great headset, but having a Quest 3, you are simply emulating a PC VR headset, and you are always going to be chasing a true PC VR experience. How do I know? Because I've been there myself. Now, is it worth it? Of course, the Quest 3 has risen in price significantly recently and now sits at £529 for the 512GB model in the UK. But for the equivalent Slam Dream Air, it's £1,774, cheaper than this by using my discount code, of course. Whether you think it's worth it depends on whether you are looking for the very best experience in PC VR gaming. And if you made it this far into the video, then that's a good sign that you do. So I've answered some of the top questions that Quest 3 owners and even other VR headset owners ask, and of course let me know in the comments if there's anything else that you want to know. And also feel free to check out our free community Discord, where you can find guides to all the very best sim racing titles and other handy hints and help from other users in there. And if this video has whetted your appetite to find out even more about what the Pimax Dream Air can do, There are some other videos on iRacing on the Dream Air here, and also like and subscribe really helps the channel. But until next time, take care and I'll see you in the next one.